It's payday. You check your account. $4,000 just hit. And for about 6 hours, you feel okay. Then the mortgage pulls, the car payment pulls, insurance, utilities, groceries. By Monday morning, you're staring at a few $100s. And the worst part, you make good money. You're not minimum wage. You're not struggling in the way people talk about struggling. You're middle class. At least that's what they told you. But if middle class means comfortable, why does your stomach drop every time your phone buzzes with a bank notification? Here's what middle class is supposed to mean: a steady job, a house or a decent apartment, a reliable car, maybe a vacation once a year, enough to not worry. That's the deal, right? Work hard, earn a solid income, live comfortably. But the Federal Reserve reports that 60% of Americans earning between $50,000 and $100,000 could not cover an unexpected $1,000 expense without borrowing money. 60%. These are not low-income households. These are teachers, nurses, electricians, office managers, people doing everything right. And still, one car repair, one medical bill, one broken furnace away from a credit card spiral. The middle class was supposed to be the safe zone, the place where you finally stop worrying. Instead, it's become the most expensive place to be broke. You earn too much to qualify for help. You earn too little to actually get ahead. And nobody talks about that gap, because from the outside, you look fine. So what's actually happening? Why does more money never feel like more money? The answer is something called lifestyle inflation, and it's the silent killer of middle-class wealth. Here's how it works. You get your first real job. Maybe you're making $40,000 a year. You drive a used car. You split rent with a roommate. You eat at home most nights. You're not comfortable, but you're surviving. Then you get a raise, $55,000. Now you can afford your own apartment, $1,200 a month instead of $600. You get a newer car because the old one is embarrassing, $350 a month instead of nothing. You eat out a little more. You upgrade your phone plan. You buy better clothes for work. None of these feel like bad decisions. Every single one makes sense on its own. But here's what happened. Your income went up by $15,000 and your spending went up by about $14,500. That raise gave you an extra $42 a month in real breathing room. $42. That's the trap. Every upgrade feels earned. Every expense feels reasonable, but stacked together, they form a wall between you and actual financial progress. A Brookings Institution study found that middle-income households increased their spending by 92 cents for every additional dollar earned. 92 cents. You kept 8 cents of every new dollar. That's not building wealth. That's running in place on a nicer treadmill. Let's do the actual math, because $75,000 a year sounds like a lot. It sounds like you should be fine. Let's see. $75,000 gross after federal taxes, state taxes, and payroll deductions. You take home about $57,000. That's roughly $4,750 a month. Now let's subtract. Rent or mortgage, $1,600. That's the national median for a 2-bedroom. Car payment, $550. That's the current average for a used car loan, according to Experian. Car insurance, $180. Gas, $200. Groceries for a family, $700. That's what the USDA calls a moderate plan. Health insurance after your employer's share, $350. Utilities and internet, $250. Phone bill, $85. Minimum debt payments, let's say student loans or a credit card, $300. Add it all up. That's $4,715 in monthly expenses. You started with $4,750. That leaves you $35. $35 a month. That's your surplus on a $75,000 salary. That's not even a tank of gas in most states. And we didn't include clothes. We didn't include haircuts. We didn't include your kids' school supplies. We didn't include a single birthday present or a single dinner out. This is why you feel broke on a decent salary, because the math doesn't lie. A household earning $75,000 a year has less than $500 in true annual surplus, One unexpected expense, one ER visit, one transmission failure, one emergency flight home, and you're in debt. Not because you're irresponsible, because the math was never on your side. Now, here's what makes this a trap and not just bad luck. The system is designed this way. Every industry touching your money benefits when you spend everything you earn. The auto industry doesn't want you to buy a $15,000 car in cash. They want you in a 72-month loan at 8% interest. That $550 payment earns them almost $10,000 in interest alone. The housing industry pushes you to buy at the top of your approval range, not the top of your comfort range, the top of what the bank will technically allow. That means you're maxed out before you move in. Credit card companies send you higher limits when your income goes up, not because they trust you more, because they know you'll use it. A study from the J.P. Morgan Chase Institute found that when people receive a raise, their discretionary spending increases within the same pay cycle. The same cycle. The money doesn't even sit in your account long enough to earn a penny of interest. Retailers, subscription services, insurance companies, they all study your income bracket. They price their products to capture exactly what you can afford. That's not a coincidence. That's a business model. You are the product. Your paycheck is the raw material. And every company you interact with has a strategy to extract as much of it as possible before you even think about saving. Now, the objection you hear most is this: what am I supposed to do? Never enjoy my money? Never upgrade anything? Live like I'm broke forever? No, that's not the point. The point is to upgrade intentionally instead of automatically. Right now, most people upgrade the moment they can afford the monthly payment. That's the trap. Affording the payment is not the same as affording the thing. Here's the escape plan. Step 1. Freeze your lifestyle for 2 years after any raise. You got a $5,000 raise? Keep living exactly the way you were. Bank every extra dollar. That's roughly $400 a month after taxes going straight into savings. Step 2. Build a buffer of 3 months' expenses before you upgrade anything. On that $75,000 salary, 3 months of expenses is about $14,000. That sounds like a lot, but at $400 a month, you're there in 3 years. At $600 a month with some side income, under 2 years. Step 3, when you do upgrade, follow the 50% rule. Only spend 50% of any raise on lifestyle. The other 50% goes to savings or paying down debt forever. That one rule alone changes everything, because now your wealth grows with your income instead of being swallowed by it. A Georgetown University study on wealth accumulation found that savings rate, not income level, is the single strongest predictor of long-term financial stability. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. 2 people, both making $75,000 a year, same city, same rent, same starting point. Person A does what most people do. Every raise they upgrade. New apartment, newer car, better restaurants, nicer vacations. After 5 years, their income has grown to $90,000, but their expenses grew to $88,000. They have about $2,000 in savings. They carry $6,000 in credit card debt. Their net worth is negative $4,000. They make $90,000 a year, and they are worth less than zero. Person B earns the same $75,000, gets the same raises, but person B follows the 50% rule. Every raise, half goes to lifestyle, half goes to savings. After 5 years, person B's income is also $90,000, but their expenses only grew to $78,000. They bank the difference. Even with modest returns, person B has over $32,000 saved, no credit card debt, an emergency fund that covers 6 months. Their net worth is positive $32,000. Same job, same city, same starting salary. The gap after 5 years is $36,000. The only difference is what they knew. Person B didn't earn more. They didn't get lucky. They didn't sacrifice everything. They just stopped upgrading automatically and started upgrading intentionally. This is not your fault. Nobody sat you down and explained this. No class, no mentor, no warning label on that first car loan or apartment lease. The system was built to capture your income, and you were never given the blueprint to protect it. But now you know. You're not someone who blindly upgrades anymore. You're someone who builds. And that changes everything. Hit subscribe because this is just the beginning.